We're live.
Hey.
Yay.
Hello.
The Nougat. Welcome to Han Solo.
Yeah.
Tonight we have the Beardbarian. He's the bearded one over there.
Wow, really? The bearded one?
Well, that.
No, I
Sounds-
mean, other than me, they've figured out who I am by this point.
The hat's the big tip-off.
Exactly. Then we've got Darnell Henriquez, obviously the foreigner.
Yay.
And by process of elimination, the last one here is clearly KMACK time.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And I am
not too
Igor
bad.
of Shitlords Anonymous, and my lovely wife, Ren of Shitlords Anonymous.
There we are. We got the whole crowd minus Samash. He'll be here later. So you and I were kind of talking about this before we started, Igor. What do you think of this Mario movie with Miyamoto involved?
Could be interesting. I still have, I wouldn't call them fond memories of the the original Mario film that came out so long ago.
The greatest Mario film that ever possibly could have been made. They don't need to do that shit again. That shit was fucking classic.
No.
It's certainly funny, but I wouldn't call that a classic.
You watch.
Beardbarian, you are wrong. The Mario porno is the best Mario movie ever.
Gotta get them one-ups, yo.
The best thing about that, Nintendo purposely bought the copyrights to both of them so they could never be distributed again.
Oh, now that's classy.
Yeah, this new one doesn't look too bad. It's going to be another animated thing. Hopefully not similar to the animated show. But Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy who created Mario, is actually going to be working as co-producer.
Oh, cool.
So he'll actually have a large hand in it.
Oh, that should be interesting. I imagine the art style will be interesting, at least.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, I mean it could go anywhere. I mean, they could go the CGI angle like they've been doing with the games. They could go traditional.
Well, there was a Super Mario anime years and
Oh,
years
Christ.
and years. Yeah, years and years and years ago. Not to mention there was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
It's a classic.
Also a great fucking instant classic. That should be
Yes,
forever
that introduced
immortalized.
us to characters like Captain N, and his crowd of Nintendo characters that he fought bad guys with. You had the Legend of Zelda shorts that came from that as well.
Captain N for Smash.
Legendary.
Yes.
If they really want to screw people over, they could just literally do the art style from the Hotel Mario game.
Hotel Mario. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that.
It's from the CDI
CDI
game.
game.
Look it up. It is the worst animation you have ever seen.
I imagine they wouldn't do that. They actually care about their brand to some degree.
Yeah, I mean it's not something that's really been done. A quality movie from a video game. Maybe it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of too
Yeah,
many
I mean,
movies that have been made from games that were
Are you-
really good. There's
Are
been
you
a couple.
trying to
but-
tell me that the
Tomb Raider
Dungeons
was
and
good.
Dragons movie was not the greatest
Dungeons
piece of
and
cinema?
Dragons was awesome.
You couldn't even keep a straight face for it.
Dungeons
Fuck
and
you.
Dragons was the best comedy ever.
No, I love it, but I love bad movies.
Well,
Like-
so do I. You've seen our
first
channel, right? You've seen what we do on Fridays.
Oh yeah.
The first Mortal Kombat movie. No, for the
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater aspect of it, it
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I actually liked that movie. That was
I liked it. I mean,
wasn't horrible.
it was a good martial arts fantasy flick.
It wasn't nearly as good as the Power Rangers movie, but it was okay.
Oh,
Which
Ivan
one?
wasn't-
Like the Secret of the
great.
Ooze?
Yeah, with
Ooze
fucking
was
Ivan
my
Ooze, and they
childhood.
get the first ninja costumes. And,
Dude, there's
yeah.
like a 15-minute
the shit.
rollerblading segment in that.
It's fucking great.
It's
Way better
it's
than the
wonderful.
new one. Way better than the new one.
Power rollerblading in the 90s was the coolest.
Yeah, especially when you can do it like synchronized, fucking matching outfits and shit.
Oh, God.
Damn.
I forgot about that.
Rollerblading was a big thing in the 90s, I remember.
I kind of blanked on the Power Rangers movie because I was like, graduating high school pretty much by the time that thing fucking came out.
Eh.
Does the Dragon Ball Z live action movie count?
No.
Which
I
one?
still haven't watched
Which
it.
one? There's the American one, and then there's the Japanese one.
I've only seen the American one. I was there
Oh.
day one in theaters, and it
Oh,
was.
God, that was terrible.
Horrible.
I've never been so disappointed in my life.
Yeah, I felt bad for anyone that actually went to the
I mean,
theater on that.
The Japanese version, was it the same movie, like just dubbed in
No,
Japanese? Or?
It was a Japanese Dragon Ball film, essentially. It wasn't it was DBZ, if I recall. Or, no, I think it was really more based on Dragon Ball than Dragon Ball Z. But
So was the American one.
kinda,
Everything was wrong with that movie, man.
Yeah,
Krillin
there-
wasn't
there
even
was-
in it.
yeah. So I can't really remember as well as.
How are you gonna have a Dragon Ball Z movie and just not include Krillin, one of the major characters? It's like, nah.
Yeah, somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
He didn't even die, just wasn't ever even in it.
Oh.
And apparently Malachite wants the Go Ninja Go song stuck in everyone's head.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
I have a special surprise for you in about 3 months then.
Teenage
Yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh no, it's specifically that song and
Turtle
that
time.
scene, that entire scene.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to use it as my crescendo moment for one of the story arcs that's starting out.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, though, have you guys seen the artwork for the new Nickelodeon show that's coming out this year?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It looks messed up.
Oh, that's the ones that were all over the Kinder eggs that I was obsessively buying. It's okay. I don't like the style, but it holds its own. Like it's a solid style.
I think it's a cool style for like a show, period. But I just don't know if I don't know. To me, I'm always a '90s Turtles kid. So,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we're
So I don't know.
Is that the one where it looks like Donatello's head is like 20 inches taller than everyone
Yeah,
else's?
yes.
Because he's, quote, the
Mhm.
smart one?
And it's also Black April O'Neil.
Oh,
And-
yeah, that's right.
And they switched the personalities of Raph and Leo.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're switching the personalities and the roles of Raph and Leo, where now Leo's the angry one and Raph is the calm leader.
Yeah. I didn't. Was there a reason behind that? Did they say?
They probably never watched the original cartoons or let alone read the comics, so they went, Raphael's the leader. Start writing. He's the
I don't
calm one.
understand why they would even do that. Like, why would they just stick with the tropes? Stick with what works.
It
Reasons?
seems like a strange thing to change.
Yeah.
They just arbitrarily swapping the two characters.
There's
I mean-
no need to.
Yeah, it seems
James
pointless.
Willows says, this new cartoon makes the Bay Turtles look good.
I've seen the pictures. Sadly, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. Like, do you remember the Ninja Turtles our son got into? That one cartoony style?
Mm-hmm.
That
it
one looks a
2012
million
one?
times better than what they're going with now.
What was that Turtles in Time one or whatever it was?
I don't know. It was the reboot cartoon you
Yeah.
watched.
Turtles in Time's a kick-ass Super Nintendo game, though.
Yes,
and
it
it's the
was.
greatest of all of the games.
Yes, I regret to this day ever trading my copy, but I did get like 6 games for my copy. So
I thought you were gonna say 6 cents.
No.
fuck that movie. I called that movie 5 minutes into the opening night in the theater. I did not have any friends at the end of that night. Oh, I get it. He's a ghost, as I say very loudly over the entire audience at a quiet moment.
I was like, oh, come on, man.
And Igor, I said cents, like the money.
Oh, no, 6 cents, as in... I thought you meant like the movie.
Nope. The guy.
AP the Frog wants to know, what are our thoughts on Alien 3?
Which one was that again?
The prison one.
The prison
Yeah.
one. Okay.
The one with the alien dogs.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
I liked it, especially when you compare it to some of the latter stuff that's come out since. I think it holds up
Ripley
a lot
just
better
went
than
and became
Prometheus.
Even more of a badass.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God.
I think if
Prometheus was bad.
It was
If
neat
you-
until I sobered up and watched it a second time.
like I was saying, I like the idea that it's basically, hey, let's have the aliens be in a prison because that's confined and you can't escape like in the spacecraft or in the second movie where you can fight back.
Mm.
It's basically more like, like the whole point of she's in a prison with a bunch of people that are already bad versus already the aliens itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never get into the Alien series. It never did it for me.
I like it.
I'm a fan of the original and Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
same here.
3, but like after 3, I've kind of like checked out. Like the Prometheus storyline stuff.
Well, wasn't there one before that with the
It's
Ripley clone?
okay science fiction. I don't really care for it being tied to the Alien franchise. It's like, okay, I just look at it as it's part of that universe, but it's not really the Aliens franchise by any stretch.
Though what did you think of the one that was the Ripley clone movie?
Oh, what was it? Resurrection?
Resurrection.
It was okay. I mean, come on, you have the guy who played
Hellboy.
Hellboy in there.
Which one? The new one or the old one?
Resurrection, the one with Winona
No,
Ryder.
which Hellboy? The old one or
Old one.
the new guy?
The guy we
Old
like.
guy.
Old one.
Yeah. I just can't think
Yeah,
of his name.
that guy. He's a good fucking actor. I like that
Yeah.
guy.
He makes
I can
anything-
never remember his fucking name, but he's good at what he does.
He got his start in... Someone finally gave AP an answer. He's been trolling for days. Apparently no one would give him what he wanted. What was I going to say? He's very interesting, a very dynamic actor. He started off, of all things, in a more traditional role playing Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman, thank you. He played Beast in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that seems like another fitting role for him. He's a very large man,
Yes.
or at least large looking.
I have a buddy who's about 6'5", and they just about see eye to eye.
And apparently Ron Perlman's very nice to meet in public.
Yes, he got Ron Perlman's autograph on 2 different things, actually. So he had tried to give Ron Perlman a laser etching of him in his makeup as Hellboy, and Ron Perlman signed it in a gold pen and handed it back to him. He was like, no, this is too cool. You keep it. And was like legit.
Shit.
He took a photo with him. He's like, man, this is the coolest thing anyone's tried to give me as a fan. Pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a similar story about him. He was at a children's hospital or something, dealing with the sick kids, and he'd spend hours getting into makeup just to go and visit them for a bit.
Yep.
He did it as Hellboy.
Mhm.
Neat.
Although you gotta figure, going to Hellboy, it better have been just a children's hospital. You don't want to walk around as the devil anywhere where there might be dying old people.
The dying old Bill might
Or
freak
do
out
you?
and go,
I keep saying when I die, I want my good friends to dress as Death, though, and just stand menacingly near my casket.
No, Michael, you say that would be the worst thing. It could be the best thing as well. Because imagine how many elderly old people say, I'm not going down without a fight.
Maybe the most entertaining
Yeah, but I
thing all
mean,
day.
you see the devil. You finally see the devil, and he walks in, and he's that size. Maybe you decide, okay, I'm going down without a fight. I'm gonna lie down, just kill me. I mean, you have to get to the point where you just give in, and 6'5" is probably that point.
AW is commanding for us to give out a favorite movie call out. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Favorite movie of all time.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tough call.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
I think
I liked
Got like
I liked
one or
Fear and
two
Loathing.
that come to mind. I've just watched it a million times.
everybody here already knows my choice, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's tough. I would be torn between Winter Soldier and the original Captain America film, which is just such a great, war film.
Period
in general.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a superhero film, but it really feels more like a World War II film more than anything else.
What about you, KMACK?
What was the question again? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Favorite
Your
movie?
favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Any kind of movie?
Yeah, just your favorite movie.
Two come to mind. Off the top of my head, favorite comedy movie would have to be Happy Gilmore.
Oh, there's a good one.
And like my favorite overall movie, the one I can watch over and over, is Shawshank Redemption.
Good film. Good film.
Yeah, that definitely have to be up there.
Up there.
What was that other one? Another Stephen King movie. Big black guy.
The Green
Mile.
Green Mile?
That's that was a good fucking movie as well.
Makes you cry.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's gonna say I don't want to give away. No one's
It's
ever
in
seen
a
it.
soft spot.
We have a $2 super chat from Mouthy Mama, but she did not say anything.
Well, just let Samaj know he has to moan.
Hype.
I'll do it for
When
Samaj.
Samaj gets here, you'll get what he owes you. Don't worry. So anyway, France wants to do a Bewitched cartoon.
So
And I'm
Is
wondering,
Bewitched still a thing?
here's the thing. Do you think they will be forced to keep it more in the typical gender roles of its time that it was set because of its France's now growing demographic change?
I'm just
Or do
wondering
you
how
think
they're going to make
PC
it
culture and
Sharia-compliant.
feminism, from the Western feminism, will force them to change it into she don't need no man, she got magic?
No,
I think
it's
it's
going to be Sharia compliant. She's going to be wearing a hijab. She's going to be properly covered. It's not magic. She just works very hard in the graces of Allah.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna be it's still gonna be the whole she is married, but they're gonna try to switch it up. They're gonna say, "Ooh, no, we're breaking the barriers of traditional weddings," and so on and so on.
So she's gonna cuck him and meet a nice, good French boy from down the lane that he's gonna be totally cool with.
Igor, how many good French boys are there?
None.
Even in a show about magic, that's unrealistic. I love that the most racist I've ever been is against the French.
That's usually me. More a family obligation at this point.
Oh, you didn't grow up hearing if it weren't for us, the French would be speaking German right now? Because I grew up hearing that line from my great uncle. He's staring at us.
Indeed.
yeah. Anyway, they want to come out with this this cartoon version of Bewitched. Two questions people are asking. One, are they going to be able to do it without having to entirely change the show because of social attitudes?
Mm-hmm.
And two, are they going to keep it kind of more grounded with the practical effects and all that, or are they going to take advantage of the cartoon format and go all out?
Ideally, I hope they go all out.
Yeah.
There's a number of really good French animation houses in France, and that have done some really phenomenal pieces in the
Porn.
past.
Absolutely amazing porn that has decorated the halls of many a young man throughout the ages
But that's
of time.
not typically
in
their animation
tapestries, in
houses.
comic books,
That's
in
usually they're just
film
their
reels
porn
galore.
sites. But as for like actual like art and animation, there's some really phenomenal animation houses out there. The thing is, will they be allowed to actually go all out? Is the the big question. Will they be able to really portray her as a witch, and will they portray it in a fashion similar to what it was in when it originally aired?
Yeah,
Especially
you look
considering
back at Bewitched.
Yeah, sorry. Let's say
Yeah,
I was going to say
sorry, go ahead.
Given that they have such a change in demographic in France, I have to wonder if it'll even really get off its ground and get its legs under it, because she's a witch and that's something that should be stoned and burned.
Yeah, I would like to see. As terrible as it is, I would like to see the Sharia compliant Bewitched.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen.
She just flies in on a broom and wearing a burqa.
It'd be a whole different type of show. It'd no longer be a comedy, but it'd be something to watch.
Yep, it'd be something to watch.
I just know one thing: the moment the people in my hometown listen to this, it's going to be a second American-French war.
Why?
Because I live in the city where there's a fucking Bewitched statue. I live in the city where they made the original Bewitched.
Oh yeah, they might revolt.
So now, is France aiming this at the French populace, French kids to watch, or are they looking to turn around and market this to the Americas?
It's supposed to be aimed at the kids and the adults. They want to do one of those things where
Where
it's
there's
more
jokes
aimed
that are
at
more
the
for
kids.
adults, but go over the kids' heads.
I'm not sure if they're looking for an American audience or a French audience. I would assume they'd probably go where the money is, and go where people remember Bewitched fondly. So they'll probably aim for the States.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Well, then they'll probably go more traditional / all out with the magic, since, if they're aiming to try and get an audience here in the U.S., the people that would have watched it are like my mother and grandmother's ages, respectively.
Well, they might go for the more nostalgic, like, hey, does anyone remember this show? And then try to make it more like that show, make it how
then
it was
the blue
originally.
hairs will show up to the. I'm not talking feminists. I mean,
the little old blue-haired ladies.
Little old blue-haired ladies will show up in droves to see in the theater.
But Igor raises a good point. The people watching this, they're the target audience rather, are children and their parents, and those aren't the people that are going to be nostalgic about the show.
Yeah.
They're bringing up something because of nostalgia, hoping it'll nostalgia. But then they're not targeting it at the people that care about that shit.
Part of me wonders if this is a push to reclaim the copyright before it falls into public domain. Because that happens a lot. Like, you'll see shit get put out there. It's like, why did they make this? And
Didn't they do that with the movie
it's...
with Nicole Kidman, though?
I think so.
Or is that Adrian?
Oh, yeah.
They might have, yeah.
They did that with the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with the copyright, or trademark, something to that effect, which is possible.
Yeah, and AP MASH was an awesome show.
I love me MASH. That is a great series. And
No, I'm just gonna picture AP as being named Hawkeye.
Would he be Honeycutt or Hawkeye? Or would he be BJ? I mean, he is a 2-letter name.
BJ the Frog.
Yeah.
Frog. That just sounds like the gay version of AP. Like the gay evil twin.
No, I thought AP was the gay version of AP.
He's the gay goatee wearing AP the Frog.
No, he was the darker colored frog in Battletoads.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's why he's familiar to everybody. We knew him from our childhoods. He is the darker colored of the two frogs and Battletoads. I'm sorry I blew your cover, man. I know you've been in hiding for a while and you've been trying to keep things on the DL, but I just you saw me. I've been sitting here saying nothing. I've been saying nothing for months and drinking every day, trying to bury this knowledge. But it's time they know, AP. You want to know why he kicks so much ass? It's because he's a Battletoad.
AP's been trained for this shit. He spent his life working up to this. So anyway, have any of you heard of the new Animaniacs? They're rebooting the anime.
I heard they're bringing this back.
And I'm not happy
It's
about it.
one of the showrunners from most of Seth MacFarlane's shit. Dad. The Orville, like everything since 2005, basically. And I think it'll be a good fit. I mean, he's got that type of irreverent humor, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has spent a considerable amount of time catering all his shit to adults. Although, actually, Beardy, you have some experience in being, I mean, obviously you worked with children first and then went to being a more adult entertainer, but...
Yeah, I guess so.
How do you feel it might affect his work? The fact that he's been, consistently doing adult humor and now he's going to be working with kids. There are 4 kids, rather.
Unless you're fucking your audience and have a reputation of whipping out your genitals in front of them, it's usually not a problem.
No, I just
has a nightmare scenario for a reboot franchise. Tiny Toons as a reboot franchise.
No, it wasn't that good to begin with. Don't reboot it.
Yeah, they don't need to bring that one back.
Let it die.
Aren't they rebooting Animaniacs?
Yes, we were just talking about that.
Yeah. Well,
And
I was getting coffee.
And I honestly hope with the reboot of Animaniacs that they go, because the audience for who watched Animaniacs originally are in their like 20s and 30s. So
exactly.
I really hope they go an Adult Swim route and just go, we're making this cartoon not for kids, but here, for all you 90s kids who grew up with this, here it's back.
Oh God! All the main characters from Animaniacs, all 10 to 15 years older.
Oof.
Except for Hello Nurse. Somehow she stayed the same age.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she would crack some joke about being mostly plastic now.
Yeah, I could see it working well as an adult reboot, kind of like what they did with Ren and Stimpy, except
Good.
Freight Power Ranger says reboot. I'm sorry, that will be heresy the day that it happens. Reboot was a wonderful and masterful thing, and if it's touched again, it will be destroyed.
You really can't regain that magic lightning.
That's the age that it happened in, the wonder, the lack of knowledge that the layman had about their basic electronics allowed that show to be mystical.
Yes.
Don't tell Hollywood that. They tried that with Ghostbusters, and look how well that went.
Every time I play a video game with Ranger Reboot and you win a
film.
level, you kill people.
What do you mean there was another Ghostbusters? There was only 2. There was only ever 2.
There's only ever been 2 Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're playing...
Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2.
And then there was the cartoon series,
which was pretty cool. I did like the video game, the one they released. That was pretty neat. I like the way that it tied the previous movies together and kind of set it up almost like it was a third movie itself. In fact, if there were to be a third Ghostbusters movie, you could pretty much take the entire plot of that game and make it into an amazing movie where there's a new Ghostbuster and everything, and they go on wonderful adventures and all the stories are tied together. That would be a great way to do a Ghostbusters 3, but I'm glad that they haven't made another Ghostbusters yet. Very thankful for that.
Oh, we're playing the game that me and my friends played with Star Wars with the prequels, that they didn't exist. That's the game.
This isn't a game.
The prequel's all that bad considering what we got recently.
Mm-hmm.
What we got recently.
I kind of misjudged our bank.
What we got recently, honestly makes me go, can we bring back George Lucas? Bring him back.
No.
Getting rid of George Lucas should never have been an idea.
Add
I mean,
Steven
as
Spielberg
just a
back.
guy who ruins his own shit.
He
Wouldn't
wouldn't
have ruined
have
it
made
this.
I can pretty well guarantee, having talked to people who've worked for George Lucas, if anyone thinks he would have done a better job with the movies going forward, not really.
What if
He stopped listening to other people's ideas when he started filming the prequels. Do you think it would have improved going on to films later on? Because look at what he did to the original trilogy. He has re-edited those things like 10 or 12 times to the point where you can't even get the copy of like what most people would consider the original cut on DVD or Blu-ray, because he destroyed the originals and he refused to ever allow the United States to archive the original copies for history.
Han shot first.
Yeah, Han always shot first.
Exactly.
But I will say this. What if you pair George Lucas with Spielberg? He listens to Spielberg.
We got Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls with that thing they got together.
Yeah.
It would have been better than fucking Fish Lips.
Sure.
Man, the only time it would get better is that we get more meat material.
At least it was more Give this away.
What they should have done is what had been done originally. He wrote out a synopsis for all three films. He had a strong, solid idea for the first film. Wasn't sure he'd ever get to this second or third film when he originally did them. He hoped, but he wasn't really ever anticipating that. That's why the first film is, a contained film. Like, if there had never been any other sequels, it still would have been a good film. That said, at least he had an idea for what he wanted to do for the trilogy, the original trilogy. There was no concept of what Disney and the people working on the new trilogy want to do. Like, they literally have stated, all the little subplots with Snoke and with, the family and all that for Rey, they didn't even know what they were going to do with it in the film that came out, The Last of the Jedi or whatever.
That's an okay way to run a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but that's where that ends.
Yeah, that's not how you run a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Well, I'll say this. At least I can go look back, and now that these new movies have come out, I found that my hatred of the prequels was really pointless, because I could go back and watch those and still get a laugh or some kind of enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ren, the big question is, how do you feel about the Game of Thrones guys getting their hands on a new trilogy?
There is going to be some hot sibling action. There's going to be some hot sibling action in the next Star Wars film. You know it. Somewhere along the line, you're going to find out when Ben Solo is going to be banging Fish Lips, and it's going to turn out or Rey, for those who don't get who we're talking about. He's going to be banging Rey. She's going to have a sudden flash of memory, and it's going to turn out her mother actually was stooping Han, not long before, she was born. Turns out Han's her dad too, and
to be honest, I kind of want it to be Game of Thrones, because at least it'd be interesting.
Well,
a game of Jedi.
Well, they actually did say that they're gonna be trying to base it off more the old Republic sort of era. So hey, we might get Game of Thrones.
Why does AP the Frog keep spamming an 800 number?
I don't know.
Oh, he's given his ex-wife's number. Don't worry. But I think the Game of Thrones guys running the separate stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good thing to try, and I think it's a good way to do it, having them detached from the main storyline.
Right.
An in the Star Wars universe type thing.
Yeah, but now the part is going to get Ren mad. You can already imagine that there's controversy about the fact that these two guys got picked to do Star Wars.
Why?
Star Wars is a science fiction fantasy. It's not hard science fiction. It never has been.
No. The first reason why is because these are the same two guys that tried to do that Confederacy show on HBO.
Oh, for
Okay.
fuck's sake.
Okay.
So there was a news. So I remember there was a news article saying, blah 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 blah. This is gonna be horrible. The fact that these two racist guys are gonna get their own Star Wars show, and now let me list you why Game of Thrones was never good.
Fuck them. Game of Thrones is awesome.
It's misogynistic. It's transphobic.
Beard,
It's blah blah blah
are
blah
you
blah.
polishing your helmet on camera? You know that could get this demonetized.
No, it is quite dusty though. Now that I look at it, you know what? I am gonna grab a cloth.
It was perfectly positioned where it could, just off
Yeah,
the
it's quite
screen,
dusty.
it could have
No,
been
no, he's
something
gonna
else.
stand up. He's gonna stand up and polish it. It's gonna
Well,
look
I've got
even
to find the
worse.
cloth. Here we
No,
go. I know.
I'm sorry.
I will polish
Darnell,
it with this piece of
Send me,
fur.
send me the
This
article.
is-
Send me the article, Darnell, so I can see this because I'm sorry. Game of Thrones is not meant
Oh,
to
it's
be
so dusty.
all inclusive. Everyone has a risk of dying. Everyone has a risk of being screwed over, and you're not supposed to know what's going on with what's going to happen to them. That's what makes the show interesting. Because is your favorite character going to live or die to the end? Or live to the end or die? You never know.
Careful now,
Yeah,
Beard. If you
it's
polish your
way-
helmet a
yeah.
little too vigorously, it could magically go off and force choke you.
No, I think that's one of Beardy's kinks.
Hmm.
He likes to be force choked when he comes.
I'm not flipping through this giant deck of Pokemon cards fast enough to find a Pokemon related pun, but I'm trying very hard.
Oh, God. How many
Hard
of
as
those
an
things-
onyx.
How many of those things do we have in the house? I think we're at like 100 or more.
What, Pokemon
I-
cards? Probably closer to
I don't know.
1,000.
I've got this stupid fucking stack.
Oh, we probably have close to 1,000. Our son
That's
has at
terrible.
least 4 tins.
Yeah.
Fright Power Ranger says, "Is that a Dark Helmet figure?" No, it's a Star Wars actual Darth Vader one that when you push it, it makes Darth Vader noises and it shoots out little gumballs. But I'm out of gumballs.
And I'll be right back.
Someone's
I think
ass.
yours-
And he's roboting. But yeah, what is it, Darnell? Like, what was their main complaint? That 2 guys from Game of Thrones got a show? I mean, Game of Thrones
They're-
is
Pretty much.
so
They're
wildly...
very problematic.
No.
They've shown women getting raped and murdered.
No. Their big problem is because these are the same two writers that were originally going to do the What If Confederacy show in the show where it's like what if the Confederacy
The Old History
Confederacy had
The
won.
old history show.
Yeah, and these are the same two writers. So now they're working on Star Wars. After that article of 98% of all Star Wars writers are white males. So, it's like that whole point of, oh, problematic, blah, 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 blah.
Of course. It's always problematic.
It's always problematic that 2 people who write on a show that's so wildly popular and is making probably millions for HBO got another gig to write something for another series because they actually want a shot at doing something that makes money. Because that new Han Solo film does not look good. I don't even know why it exists.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I can't judge one way or the other. I've seen some clips. I wasn't impressed, but
That's the
I
It
haven't
thing.
literally
seen-
just looks like
yeah.
It looks like it's
Was I correct though? Did I spot them in Mos Eisley's, but they looked like they were teenagers?
I don't know. I feel like it's not necessary. Like I said, I don't even know. Like I feel like that it's like that whole young thing, but I couldn't really tell what was my size if you put a gun to my head.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the 2 jokes I love about this movie is the first saying that the people that do the prequel memes now have
Michael,
more
headphones.
content. Oh. And the second joke that people are saying is when you look at how the interior of the Millennium Falcon in this movie and you compare it to how the Millennium Falcon looks like in the later films, And people are just going, if Han treated, Ben Solo the same way he treated the Millennium Falcon, no wonder he went to the dark side.
No.
Oh, we have Damina Rigel.
Wait. I'm sorry. So I'm looking up one of these things, and for the 2 Game of Thrones writers, because one of the critics says that they're being called a cultural step backwards.
What?
For having the 2 writers is that they're
Uh-huh.
being called like a cultural step backwards, and they're talking once again. They're referring back to the Confederacy show, where they throw a New York Times piece where Roxane Gay calls it slavery fan fiction.
No, it's based. The alt history thing was based off a book series.
Yes.
It's actually quite a fascinating book series about how one war and who won could have changed world history as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Sliders too. That was a really good series. That also explored that in some fun depth.
Sliders was interesting until they got to the space monkeys.
Sliders never existed past the end of the first season. That is also a fundamental rule.
It's the rule of
the
most.
nature of the entertainment
It's
universe.
the rule of most good fans.
No, it ceased to exist after the death of the guy who later played Gimli.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was like season 2 or 3.
That was the end of season 2.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we got Malik in the chat. He says, I thought Han Solo died. How is he going to be in his own movie? Star Trek doesn't make sense.
And your guest just got up and ran away.
You're right. Star Trek doesn't make sense. Use the Force, Harry. Use the Force.
From Gandalf.
With Jean-Luc Picard as
Oh,
the
God. I
as the
still
picture.
remember Twitter.
Yep.
I still remember Twitter reaction from you, Darnell, when I put that picture of the Spock bear saying, "May the Force be with you."
No.
That was funny.
It's a shame that the Han Solo movie looks so bad because it had, as an idea, it had such potential.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the, if not the best character in the series. He's got fucking backup characters galore that you can pull just from his adventures, right? They're endless possibilities.
I'd like to see IG-88.
To go and ruin it.
Yeah, the robot assassin or whatever, or bounty hunter.
Yeah, I mean, he's got more backstory than most of the rest of the characters. He's got, just because of what that backstory is, traveling the fucking galaxy.
And he's not a Jedi, too, so it'd be a different perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
So, are they ever going to address the
had to go and
fact
ruin
that not like 10 years before Han Solo picked up some space trash that was a young aspiring Jedi, that he didn't even have any memory of the fact that the Jedi Order was a thing?
Well, I don't think it was necessarily that he didn't have a memory. I just think that he didn't believe. He thought it was just a myth. Like it was just like
They controlled the fucking galaxy.
There was this big
They
fucking
had a giant
war.
fucking council.
Look, I know it's space, I know there's different fucking aliens, but I'm a flat earth atheist, okay? That's literally the name of the trope, is flat earth atheist.
Oh,
Though, speaking of things that were remakes and nostalgia, what did you guys think of the idea that when they remade Flatliners?
they shouldn't
I
have.
wasn't aware that they'd remade Flatliners.
Came out last year.
Mm-hmm, with,
That
who's the woman that played Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movies?
Mhm.
The lesbian?
The
She
chick
was
who
in
was
Juno.
also
The
chick who was also in that Knocked Up, the movie where she was a pregnant teenager.
Oh,
Juno.
fuck, I thought you were going to
Yeah.
get me... I
Oh,
was getting
shit,
excited
her.
for a porno there, and you just ruined it. The one where she gets all knocked up and... Yeah!
Hey, Beardbarian. If you want, look up the game Beyond Two Souls, because the game developers actually did make a nude model of her, and she sued them for it.
Because it was
Because they're supposed to be
objectifying her.
No, because it was supposed to be like a shower scene, and they told her it was like, okay, it's a shower scene, but it's like gonna be cut off at the cleavage. And then she found out because of people hacking into the game. No, it's a complete nude model with nipples and vagina.
What's the issue?
I think it's because mainly they told her that it was gonna be that it was essentially one thing, and then they end up making the entire.
Well, the thing is
You know,
if
model.
they probably just bought a 3D model of a body, and when you're doing CG, the first rule is if you can cheat it, you do it. You cut corners where you can to save time to work on other stuff.
And
So-
also Ren, the group chat. There's the 2 articles.
Alright, cool. Igor, grab them. I can always use them for videos that I swear I'll make tomorrow. I'll get on the video making thing.
All right, there is the first article. Nerd Wars. Fans split over new Star Wars series by David Benoff and DB.
Oh. Let's play.
Someone wants to read. I will pull down.
So Star Wars fans are extremely opinionated. You only had to absorb a small part of the reaction to the franchise's most recent film, The Last Jedi, to figure that out. For weeks. Well, brace yourself for more Nerd Wars, because... Off screen. Alright. Alright. The new standalone film, Solo, a Star Wars story, will be released this May. People are already arguing over Alden...
Fuck the
Aaron
name.
Reich? Aaron Reich's performance as Han Solo, and they haven't even seen it yet. Next week, blah, blah, blah. Susan has already signed on to make another trilogy after that one. We already know how controversial that can be. And this week, Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss will be writing and producing a Star Wars series of their own. It's already proven to be controversial. Well, what was it you were saying before we read into this too much? You're mentioning that this has to do with series that they were trying to make a little while ago.
I think it's down for the thing, because this just seems like they're talking about they're a little terrified of their responsibility but excited, and yeah they better get on that last season of Game of Thrones. I'm waiting too long. And I agree, they are really good at storytelling. They make characters interesting and actually have depth.
That's better than what we're getting in Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
And that's where the focus should be.
Yeah.
There we go, our little horse here. How you doing, Samash?
Smash!
Hey, Smash.
Moan, bitch, moan.
Smash, come back!
He fled.
No, we chased him off.
Come back.
All right, we're gonna read more of this.
That's. I don't know if we need to. It seems like it's just
Yeah.
It's at the bottom. And it's here.
them.
Are they
Oh, there
overrated
we
as
go.
writers? Have they not seen the?
Yeah, but they've
source
had to do a
material
great
ran out.
deal of the scripts post season 1 or 2 were them because Martin had checked out so he could actually, get off his ass and start
write books.
writing the last book or 2.
Yeah, they already know from notes from the author as to what's going to happen. They didn't run out of material.
Yeah, they just had to start writing it.
They had to start writing and filling in gaps, and there's going to be a difference between the books and the show.
Yeah.
But Season 7.
Part 2 is going to be the part that makes you more angry.
I know.
No, I mean the
Did
slowing down.
that say that that the writing was the weakest part of season 7?
I liked 7.
I enjoyed 7 a lot.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Are
back.
they a cultural step backwards? Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is
Last year, Benioff and Weiss were under another storm when their next TV project, Confederate, was announced. The show is intended to portray an alternative version of American history in which the pro-slavery Confederate States successfully seceded in the Civil War. I remember the fucking outrage over this.
I do too, but I also remember there was based off books, and I was actually, and I don't know if they're still doing it, but
Probably
they're
not.
still probably not. But I hope they do eventually get to do that, because that book series is quite fascinating for one little change, changing all of history.
I love that. Once
yeah.
again, it's a reference. There's no rape in the main canon. There's even in the fucking modern Marvel comics. There's rape.
Mhm.
You idiot.
Cornell, you're thinking.
Well, he's kept up with the series.
This is true.
And also, once again, wouldn't the idea of Anakin being immaculated by, the whole virgin mom thing also be considered rape?
Technically.
Don't dig into that well, Darnell, or we got to go after the whole Jesus thing, too.
True enough.
I'm going after everyone.
I mean, if we're going to call a virgin birth as rape, then some of you got
You're
God is a little
botting
rapey.
Your body there, Schmeckle.
Schmeckle.
And also, Smeckle, I was gonna say to Smeckle, also the fact that the big difference between the Anakin thing, the Jesus thing, we know who technically did impregnate Anakin's mom. It was fucking Dark Pelagius.
We assume.
We assume it
Is
was.
Yeah,
that part of the extended universe that's no longer canon?
Yeah.
All right, so I mean that's no longer a valid argument.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
It can still be counted as canon by all the fans.
Yep.
Well,
You know.
at this point, the fans are good and pissed off with the direction of the current movies. So yeah, that could be a factor.
You could just consider it back. And Disney says they're starting to bring back, so they want to start to bring back some of the extended universe.
Mhm.
Disney probably realizes the mistake they made by getting rid of the extended universe in itself.
I think the
Well,
mistake.
the extended universe for Star Wars being gotten rid of wasn't Disney. That was Lucas.
I know that was Lucas. But I'm saying Disney realized
Well-
Lucas' mistake.
Hold on, I think there's a point of clarity. It's the Lucas who's ever in charge of Lucasfilms right now, because George Lucas, he just sort of owned the things. He wasn't running it, and the person who was running it was a feminist bitch of some sort, and which is essentially why when you see these new movies, they definitely have a very feminist lean to it. Because she
Lucas
is
isn't involved in the new franchise.
Lucas isn't. Disney owns it now. Lucas is done.
He sold the entire license to Disney.
Yeah. The thing is, what you have to know about Disney is that it's a big corporation, and they rely on all like when they bought Marvel, the people who are in charge of Marvel are still in charge of Marvel. It's
Yes.
just that
I'm
they have such a
telling
bigger
you,
phone.
Lucas isn't involved anymore. He checked out.
I know that. I'm saying Lucasfilms.
Oh,
There's a
yes.
difference.
Yes,
Yeah, the person in
Lucasfilms
charge-
is involved a little, not much.
No, yeah, well, Lucasfilms, they're the ones who run that department. It's like when they bought Marvel, the person who was running Marvel, the people running Marvel at the time, they're the ones who still run Marvel, which is, well, not anymore, because now we've got CB Cebulski running things, and God bless him. He's doing the Lord's work, I'll tell you that much, firing people.
Oh wait, that also reminds me. That reminds me. Now that we talked about this, it is one of the best news stories I have ever seen. DC just put out a new policy towards their fucking content creators. They can't do the whole fucking calling the fans racist, misogynistic, inflammatory things anymore.
Yeah, please don't insult our customers.
It's because DC saw what Marvel did, and they went, "Oh fuck, we don't want to do that." Okay, we're not going to insult the fans, and we're going to go to what the fans want because they're actually spending the money.
Because it's a memo you can see, and it's basically like, hey, okay, we get it that there's gonna be political disagreements, there's gonna be trolls, there's gonna be blah 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 blah. some of there's two things. It might be criticism, but at the same time, it might be actual harassment. File it through us, and we will go after we will go after it, blah blah blah. But do not go directly.
Do not engage.
Do not engage.
Abort.
Let
Abort. Do not engage.
Let PR do it, because if it's criticism, they might bring it to you and go,
yeah.
"Hey, the fans are bringing up a good point. Why is this happening?"
Well,
or if it's trolling and harassment, it's like, "Hey, we'll deal with this in a way that doesn't, alienate the fan base."
Oh, there's another aspect. It's probably less. Well, there definitely is the alienating the fan base aspect, but more to do with the fact that if they continue to antagonize the fan base, the company opens themselves up to potential lawsuits if one of their employees does something that, under the name of their company, that, damages someone else's job or, in some other way messes with them. That could potentially open up their own company to liability, because you are liable for your employees' actions when they are on the job.
Certain people trying to dox diversity in comics?
Certain people trying to have a fistfight with diversity in comics.
It was more than that. They wanted to find him at a comic convention and fight him, or provoke him to fight, more to the point.
Nerd fights are the best fights.
Also, I noticed that Fright Power Ranger said in the chat there, congratulations to Beardbarian for getting that strike lifted.
Yay!
I didn't know that, so fabulous.
Oh, that happened today, just on my Out of Character channel.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's good, because it
Strikes
actually
are no fun.
defied all logic.
I've had like 4 in my channel total. They've all been goners.
YouTube isn't really acting in a very logical manner these days, so...
I got one for ankle.
You got one for ankle? That's like very Victorian of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lord knows that, when you show your cleavage and all that kind of stuff, your channel should have just been completely eviscerated.
Yeah, well, and then as soon as we got streaming back on our main channel, I did a test stream just to make sure everything was working right and getting things set up again for our channel.
And that was apparently spamming.
And then we got a strike for the test stream, which consisted of nothing more of me talking to chat while I was testing out stuff.
You pushed your luck. You don't do that.
We got it overturned the same day, but oh, Jesus Christ, that was annoying. I leave it. I think someone flagged the channel, just trying to be a dick.
That's some good advice. Beardy, did you do a test stream? Do you have to worry about you?
What?
Don't do that. Apparently, it's deceptive practice to do this test stream.
No, I didn't do a test stream. I was setting up a gaming stream. I wasn't even streaming. I hadn't even scheduled it yet.
What kind of game are you playing? Because Lord knows that could be controversial.
Dark Messiah, Hero of the Might and Magic, the 2006 RPG.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I uploaded one of the load screens as the thumbnail. I titled it "Hungover Messiah." That might have been why. But the game title was in the description. It was in the thingy down at the bottom already. Like, I took screen caps of the whole thing. I hadn't even clicked schedule. And it started struck down for harassment and things, and like, wait, this thing doesn't exist yet for somebody to have flagged it. What?
They struck down a stream that didn't even happen yet.
I hadn't even finished putting my P.O. box info in the description. I just typed out, "I'm hungover, and this game was on sale on Steam. Let's play Dark Messiah."
Oh yeah, Fright Power brings up a good point. One, thank you, American Phoenix. Two, Fright Power just got a strike today for Bad Prom Comedy Hour.
Weird.
Damn, these YouTube heroes work fast.
Was it one that happened while you were still setting it up, or did it happen after?
It happened while I was live.
Mid live stream.
Okay, that's
mid live stream.
At least you know it's a person.
Yeah,
at least you know somebody flagged it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking about setting up and doing some streams on my channel, just talking art related stuff. But because I hang out with you guys, I might be in trouble.
Oh yeah. And yet, stream never gets a strike.
Yeah, what's up with that? We literally had Wizard of Cause's testicles live on stream, and yet we're still here. How the fuck did we manage that?
I don't
Balls
know.
are good. Dick's not.
Every weekend I make a trip down and give Susan what's you know who I mean, a
Susan
little bit of the
Wojcicki
tongue
and-
action.
Yeah.
Oh.
You show your loyalties to Susan with some good tongue action.
Yeah, exactly. As long as she comes, we stay on air.
Okay. So long as your tongue and not mine.
Yeah, don't ever say I don't make sacrifices for you so much.
Right.
I was gonna say,
It's the reason he
Samaj,
drinks so much.
you're
Is
turning.
it's to get rid of the memories.
I was gonna say, wow, Samaj, you're turning down sex.
Look at who we're talking about here.
Not
I
that
think
hard. Not with her.
look, it may have been 8 years, but I still have standards.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have standards.
Standards are good to have.
Now this needs to be a shit comic. YouTube Heroes by Marvel. Fighting
No.
hate speech on the internet.
No,
I can just see, I can just see
no.
it. You see him flying through the window, and he sits down in his chair, and then he starts flagging stuff on YouTube. He doesn't even go out and rescue people. He's got all these superpowers, but what does he do? He sits down at a computer and starts flagging channels on YouTube.
I will whip whoever said that, because the fact that you said that means it's probably gonna be true now.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Inappropriate.
Captain
would that-
Inappropriate.
Prince and villain.
He's out just flagging everything. Everything shit comment out there is like inappropriate, inappropriate,
The League of
inappropriate.
Trusted Flaggers.
How would
Meanwhile,
that
at the
suit-
League of Trusted Flaggers.
How would that superhero team turn out? It'd be like the White Knight, Soy Boy.
Yeah.
You need a couple land whales with like multicolored hair.
There needs to be one female Twitch streamer who gets mad at people look at her cleavage.
Mhm.
Yes.
But she's completely naked. They just have blurry
bars.
sensor bars to cover her.
Oh, and the best part would be they keep doing that, but then you cut to the villains, and it goes like this one shot, and it's a bunch of people having drinks in a bar, talking, having a life,
Yeah.
and you just that's the cutbacks. It's like the Trusted Flaggers are flagging. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, eh.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Booze,
AW in the chat says Dr. Doxer.
Dr. Doxer.
I like that.
DCMA man, DMCA man.
DMC man. Oh yeah.
Oh god, if it wasn't for the fact that his character already existed, I would have said Dr. Nemesis.
Microaggression man. Oh, that's pretty good.
Captain Right Side of History, battling wrong thing, plaguing YouTube universe.
Mrs. Get in Your Lane.
Super sis. That would probably be one of the villains.
Oh,
Super
God.
Sis.
No, and the funny
Oh,
thing
and of course the head of the cabal of villains, the patriarchy.
No. We forgot one major character, Major Gaslight.
Oh.
You guys laugh now, but this is actually a movie that's coming out in about a year and a half. I was actually cast for one of the roles. I'm looking forward to the honor of playing Homeless Man.
I like it. I like it. Oh, Andy Dr. Doom Worski.
Oh.
Yes. I'm serious though. Every time they cut away to the villains, it has to be like, meanwhile, and you just see someone doing dishes, or meanwhile, and it's just for the funny point that they won't get. It's like, oh, the people we villainize have lives.
I would imagine one of the villains is just a mother feeding her kid.
Yes.
Oh yeah, mother feeding her kid.
A mommy blogger.
A mommy blogger. Like every time they cut to her, she's not doing anything evil at all. She's
Quick,
like,
to the mom mobile! Soccer practice!
Meanwhile, the
Beard-
kids in the background all look like they're just like, please stop, Mom, please, please. We'll be seen by our friends.
Oh god, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that moment, like in comic for like the villain and the hero meets, where it's like the kids are just gonna knock out the mom, and it's just gonna be, leave us alone, we'll leave you alone.
Chaos in the chat there says their hideout is known as the safe space.
Ooh, I like Doku. I should see if I can pitch that. That's way better than
Oh,
a
the
homeless
straw
man. I should
man.
be Straw Man.
Oh, straw man.
The mighty and villainous Straw Man.
who's defeated by a spicy burned.
I feel like this is gonna become like the Beetlejuice principle, where the more we talk about this, the more likely it's gonna happen.
You got a year and a half before the movie comes out.
Think of it this way: if this does if that did happen, and even it was a webcomic, even the social justice war, they wouldn't get it. They would think the trusted flaggers, like, yeah, it's making YouTube heroes look like they are awesome people. Reality is, everyone else looks at it and goes, they have the villains have lives. Don't you get that?
They'd have to
Where's
film
that
it.
a bad thing?
They'd have to film it like I can't remember what the film's title was, but where there's like the reality of the situation. So it's like the soccer mom getting her kids ready for soccer, and then the trusted flagger's perception of what that mother actually, is. Where it's like you just see, in his mind, she's beating the shit out of her kids, saying all sorts of racist things. Meanwhile, in reality, would you like some candy before you head out the door? Or maybe a soda to go with your snack?
I'm just picturing a scrawny, like greasy-looking little motherfucker in suspenders and a tucked-in short-sleeve button-up, creeping through the bushes towards a house where a woman is seen walking through the windows with her husband, partially undressed from his suit, jacket off, tie unloosened a bit, with his sleeves rolled up, following her into the kitchen. And as he approaches, the Terminator music begins to play as he takes each step, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, as he imagines that backhand coming across her face, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and a knife coming down towards her, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and he opens the door, and she's serving fucking turkey.
Yeah. And then the husband, being clearly a right-winger, grabs a gun, screaming, "Get the fuck out of my house, you psycho!"
No. He reaches for the turkey knife.
Yeah, there we go.
And he presses the fork into the breast. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun! And the vegan blogger runs, screaming into the woods.
As he cuts up a turkey.
Oh god, that poor turkey!
Remember, kids, smoke weed.
Every day.
No, then it'd be even funnier. He breaks back in later and goes to their bedroom, thinking with the same music, going, "I'm gonna catch a rape." Sees them watching like a rerun of like Law and Order as they're sleeping. Like, nope.
No, it's I think Darnell's right. Yeah, we're gonna get something similar at some point, and it's gonna be. It's not gonna be humorous. It's gonna be passed off as serious.
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna
that's
get
what will
the
make it
YouTube
so
hero.
humorous.
But that's what will make it humorous.
I suggest to you
Exactly.
a comic book series called Faith.
Don't ever suggest that to people. I've read it.
I only suggest it to the people I hate. Schmeckel, go read Faith.
No,
Faith?
no, Schmeckle.
Asexual spider person. Yes.
Asexual spider person.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You don't want to read Faith. I couldn't get through the first issue.
No,
No,
Rin,
what the fuck is Faith?
it's the
Fat?
wait. Can I?
No, I'll do this. She is a fat superhero. And I'm not
That
making...
works for
okay.
Tumblr. That works for Tumblr.
Is her superpower giving head?
No.
No. BuzzFeed.
But I thought that's
I'm
like
out.
every fat chick's superpower.
Her powers are kind of vague. All we know is that we know she can fly. Oh, and somehow she's snaked herself a supermodel
No
boyfriend.
wonder she's fat. She can fly.
Yeah, if I could fly, I wouldn't be walking nowhere.
No fucking stairs. Fuck that shit. Okay. Logic loophole closed. I was wondering, like, how do you get overweight as a super?
If it's
She
not
can
even-
fly.
It's not even that It's not even that popular of a comic. The sad thing is, Think Geek is so cucked. For Valentine's Day, they were trying to sell faith-themed clothing for women as an option as a Valentine's Day present. And it's like, no.
But the funnier part, though, is the majority of the clothing of that clothing line they were pushing were sized for not large ladies.
No, majority of it was size for women
Oh.
who are normal.
Yeah, most of it was normal
There
or
was only-
skinny.
there was
They
only-
had the supersized versions, but the stuff they were pushing, because they knew the majority of their sales would come from women of normal or smaller size.
Where's the 4X?
So I would love to see the look on a girl's face. It's like, oh, this is based off a fat chick. You think I look fat?
But does it come in tarp size?
But can I hit it with a harpoon while riding a boat across the great seas?
Oh, well,
Right.
the costume is white, so that makes it worse.
It's white and blue. She wears white and blue.
Beardy's got his white whip to chase now.
Oh my god. The fat land whales. The fat land whales.
No, okay, but I gotta say, because if you look up the first cover, the first issue, it is her sitting on a fucking telephone line with a bunch of pigeons looking at her, and I'm just going,
Break
how
the
is it?
damn thing.
Yeah, how is it not breaking? Because you can tell it's not like she's hovering over the line. She's sitting on the line.
Let's not also forget that there's also that one cover she did as a promotion for Hillary Clinton.
Yep. issue
How
4.
well did that work out?
Oh.
But anyway, as I was saying, Ren, you only read the first issue. I had to read the whole damn thing with my partner
Why did you and your gay lover read it?
because we had to read the horrible shit. It was part of our show.
So you and your gay lover were curled up in bed reading Faith.
We've read worse things.
It just keeps reminding me of that song by Limp Bizkit.
But anyway, keep rolling.
Oh, they sing a song called Faith.
Oh,
I got
But,
it. Faith.
Yeah,
But
it's,
anyway,
a cover, it's a
George
cover of an
Michael's,
80s.
goddammit.
It's a Jade,
But anyway,
George
Ren,
Michael's cover.
the worst thing is her job is that she literally works for BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
A BuzzFeed style. And her first major crime stop, guess what her first major, crime stop as a superhero
Nope,
thing is?
nope. I'm done. Nope. I'm gonna go smoke a bowl when I come back. Talk about something that doesn't suck.
She stops a puppy mill. That's her first bust as a superhero.
Oh God.
I kept waiting for her and Squirrel Girl to team up.
Oh Christ, was she Marvel?
Yep.
No.
Faith is Valiant.
Okay. Yeah, that's Squirrel Girl's another one. I mean, the Squirrel Girl was never going to be something good, but they went the worst direction they could have with her.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl works
I
best.
mean,
when she's, like,
best case
in the
scenario.
background.
I mean, they could have used Squirrel Girl to unite all the superheroes during one of their many
yeah.
many times of
There's Faith.
turmoil and distrust.
There's
All they
Faith.
would have had to do was kill her off.
Even the pigeons are like, this doesn't make sense with physics.
Pigeons are going, what the fuck are you doing up here, fat ass?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this. Maybe they thought it'd be kind of cute. It would show that you might be fat, but it doesn't mean you're actually fat or like heavy. I don't know. She looks kind of heavy to me.
She looks kind of malevolent with the uplighting from her fucking laptop. It's like,
gave
I'm
her
gonna
fat
murder you
cheeks.
all by sitting on you.
They gave her
Now
fat
that the internet
cheeks.
rolls.
They gave her fat cheeks.
Oh
Look, they even
Christ!
got rid of her
Oh
chin.
my God.
That's terrible.
There she blows. It's the white whale.
Now imagine the lovely clothing they based off of that thing that they wanted to sell to women.
I would imagine if you were a woman out there getting this as a gift from your partner, you might say, "Do you think I'm fat? You think I'm fat?"
You think I'm
Well,
huge?
luckily for most guys, I mean, most girls don't read comics. They don't know the context. They'll just think, "Ah, you just want me to cosplay." Fine. If they knew, they would
Well,
feel insulted.
If they knew where they look it up, and then after
Samaj,
they look it up, it's
go
like, fuck you.
Go to the right, the one where she's wearing a wedding dress. Oh, good God. Even in the wedding dress, she looks
Quick,
well.
boys! Man the large guns. They're multiplying.
Oh, I see it.
Yes, Gabby, this is a real thing.
This is an actual comic.
Yeah.
No one. I only read this because I have Comics Unlimited. But I only
I
read
would
it.
And
like
that's a
to,
good amount of boyfriend, ladies and gentlemen.
The audience is saying they kind of wish Andy was here just to hear him go, "Oh!" upon seeing this.
Someone tweet him this picture.
I'm going to officially say that, generally speaking, I abhor and must discourage the idea of book burnings. However, in this one instance, I'm bringing marshmallows.
Why is his name Chris? I forgot. Chris Criswell?
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a name?
That is the worst writing.
That's so
I think they're
uninspiring.
trying to parry Stan Lee's naming thing because he
Right.
did the same thing with the.
Why does the
Pierre
supermodel
Parker.
look like he's drugged? He literally has like
does
stars
look
around his
drugged.
eyes, like he's been bewitched and drugged.
She gave him
Yeah,
this.
probably.
She roofied him.
Look,
Run!
look at that guy. He's got a
Oh,
haircut,
man,
a jaw,
I'm
and
looking at the top,
clearly
too.
some form of money.
Oh, look at how fast.
It-
Look how fast.
The only way she was getting him was to use her powers.
I just read
Or
the
is she
top, too.
pregnant?
Look
and
what
he's
it
marrying
says.
her because it's cheaper to marry her.
He thinks she's pregnant. He can't know for sure.
The comic fave is basically just a leg beard power fantasy.
So does she actually get married, or is that a fantasy in her head?
Whales can't get
Fantasy.
married. Yar!
All right. This is. I mean, on the plus side, I mean, this comic isn't going anywhere. I mean, no one's buying it. No
It
one's
was
really reading it.
rebooted 3 times within the same year.
They rebooted it 3 times.
Wow.
Within the same year.
Let it
And one of
die.
my favorite things is the first time this one ever came out, they were talking about, oh, it's a new thing. And you know me, I'm the guy that likes to go back. So I looked up this character and it's like, no, this character's been around since the 90s. Ironically, better written in the 90s than now. Because at least the joke was that she was a fat chick. But it's like, so now you're even lying on the fact that, oh, no, we created this new character. Bitch, this character's over 20 years old.
Oh god, I like this. AP in chat is putting out there for everyone who needs it. The
Suicide
Suicide
hotline
hotline,
is
yep.
in chat. Please, if this comic is hurting you if its existence is hurting you so badly, please call that number.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, the one, yes.
They want to make a movie?
See, that's the thing you have to keep in mind. Valiant isn't really in the process of making movies. They try to make comics that should be turned or sorry, they're not into comics. They're into making comics that should turn into movies. That's usually their goal. So the idea of a Faith movie isn't far fetched because they pitched it as such, and it's going to be terrible.
No.
It will be a Redbox DVD. It won't even be a Netflix movie.
The two...
That,
Sorry,
or
go.
you know what Valiant should really do is they should just get Pornhub to be the one to film it. At least
might work.
then they'll make some money.
Well, on the plus, well, I mean, more superheroes can't always be a bad thing. Look for Faith coming to theaters in like 2020, starring Amy Schumer.
Oh.
Oh, come on! You can't tell me that's perfect casting.
No.
Okay, she'll make them make the suit out of leather.
Oh, that comedy special was terrible.
Honey,
Mm-hmm.
stop trying to scar my mind here.
That's my job.
No, but Samaj is right. The only person that could play this bitch is Amy Schumer.
Have you guys seen
I
the ads
can
for
almost hear the theme song in my
There's
head now.
already almost something like this. Amy Schumer's doing the Fat Acceptance movie coming out called I Feel Pretty.
No, and people are already bitching about that too.
They could use my song
They're
for
saying
that
she's
too.
not fat
Have
enough.
you
Should make
seen-
another
yeah.
movie called No
Have
You're
you
Not.
seen? Oh, I like that Faith with the kitty. I like that image. No, have you seen some of the tweets? Some people were calling Amy Schumer conventionally beautiful.
Yeah, not quite.
Oh.
Amy Schumer's conventionally beautiful. Like Beardy looks like your conventional woman.
Oh, good God. No, okay. Samaj, you're gonna have to do a palette cleanser. Type in Quantum and Woody Black.
No, you can't
Yes.
make me.
No.
No,
I can do it.
no, no, I can't. I'm not doing it. Also, I'm dyslexic. I'm not doing that. You should consider yourself lucky I typed in faith.
Can you type in Batcat so we can look at Batman Cat?
I could. I'm not. I mean, have I sufficiently spread the cancer to you guys?
I think you've scared the audience enough.
We need to see
Have I-
Batcat.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could see past your body. I know not everybody's got a fatty body like you, but I gotta think twice before I shove past you in the hall, 'cause you might scream and punch my balls, and that would probably make me really mad.
So
Have you
basically,
heard
you
the
have
legend-
shown
Bat Cow?
Oh, Bat Cow.
Have you heard
Bat
the legend?
Cow!
The Legend
Bat
of Bat
Cow.
Cow. Yes,
I
I'm
like
aware
Bat
of the
Cow.
Legend of Bat Cow. The Beardbarian, do you now have your new blue or your new white whale to hunt? Are you gonna go all Captain Ahab?
No. No, if I'm going to chase a woman across the ocean, it's gonna be to put my dick in her.
Not
And
a spear.
That one's not. Yeah, no, I'd rather the spear be a euphemism for my penis, and I'm not penetrating that giant wall of blubber.
The Legend of Bat Cow.
I'll tell you this much. This was probably one of the stranger stories I've ever seen Grant Morrison write, but at the same time, I still like it.
Wait, this is real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking Grant Morrison wrote The Legend of Bat Cow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Bat Cow. And for I don't know if he was till he died, but Damian Wayne, he was a vegetarian.
Yeah, he still
They're
is.
trying to solve the case of like all these unauthorized slaughters going around. So apparently it was. I saw parts of the comic. I actually don't have it. It was a bloody comic. I wish
I read it because essentially it's him and Bruce, and they go into the actual meat slaughter, and Damien just sees all of like the bodies and everything, and he starts vomiting.
It was essentially like let's take the silliness of the Batman TV series with Adam West. Let's take that silliness and just put it into the Batman comics. It made zero sense, but it was good and violent. And
It was violent,
weird.
and there was Bat Cow. And come on, Batman
and
gets
then
a
there
cow.
was Bat Cow.
Say no more.
Though it seems a little unfair that Batman gets a cow and Superman got a dog.
Well, technically, Batman now has. Well, technically, first it's Damien's cow, and
Oh.
second point is like now it's 2 dogs, the cow. I mean, no, even like there. Go into the picture. No, go up.
It says moo.
Wait, what?
Go up. Up. The one right there with Crypto.
Crypto. Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Crypto!
Yeah. You see it right there, where it's like all the family pets. You have Ace.
Well, you've got
You have-
Superman's dog, Crypto.
Yes.
God, basically,
I
they
know-
were-
Was the
what was
black
it? The
one?
60s and 70s, all of them gained a pet, didn't they?
Hold on a second.
Yes.
Did Batman get his dog when he was an old man?
No, that's Titus, and they made it to the point that Damien got a dog. Damien got a
pet dog, a cat, and a cow.
yes.
Yep.
And now Batman also has the actual Ace dog. So, like I said, 2 dogs, a cat, and a cow.
Bat cat. No,
Sorry, no, I just
Bat
saw
cat.
AP's fucking comment. Bat Cow is Schumer's pet name for a crutch.
Oh!
Don't ruin it, AP! I'm having a good time looking at Batman
Yeah.
cow.
AP, you know that means anytime she spreads her legs, you're getting a signal in the sky.
Yeah, it's saying get away, biohazardous waste.
Oh wait, no, actually, like I said, go type in Super Sons Annual, and you see all the superhero pets. Like it was a
It's
really fun
every
book.
time they add. The only pet that I liked
the one with the monkey. Click on the one with the monkey.
that had superpowers was Speedball. Speedball had that cat.
Because it was from the same accident as Sam.
Okay. Who has
So
the-
Yeah.
So Superman has a cat as well.
No, that's
Oh.
Supergirl.
Supergirl has a cat.
But of course she does.
Superboy has a dog.
Is that a clay
Batman
golem?
has two
That's from
dogs.
Clayface.
Batman has 2 dogs, a cat, and a cow. Who has the parrot and who has the monkey?
The monkey is Detective Chimp, and the parrot is like it's pretty much said that it's pretty much Plastic Man pretending to be an animal for some reason because
Okay.
he's lonely.
All
I
right,
need friends that remember who I am.
that I understand. What's the clay golem?
That's Clayface. Like you know how like Clayface can like morph himself into like a bunch of different forms.
Okay, but
Besides,
why
like,
though?
a turd?
But why though?
One of the weirdest things, and it's one of the weirdest things where they just kill it off for some reason, and they do that scene from like Crisis on Infinite Earths where like the animals are all mourning this like dead lump of clay.
Oh, yeah,
with the
Clayface.
monkey just going,
Clayface.
well, we're gonna have to do one last heights in this name. Let's do it for the lump of clay.
Ooh.
Moo, rough. Moo, rough.
Okay, A and W has a good idea in chat. They need to make a kids cartoon, which is just Justice League with all the Justice League pets.
They did that. It's called Crypto the Super Dog.
Yeah,
No, but make it like Paw Patrol. Come on.
they kind of did.
Wow.
Yeah.
They've probably covered everything at this point. You've got Teen Titans. You've got the fucking baby ass versions of the Teen Titans. They've
Oh yeah, that's
covered it
right. I
across the
forgot about
board.
the demon. Damien also has a pet demon.
Of course
Damien's
he does.
got pet demon. Of course he has a pet demon. He's a
Is it
demon
Calabac?
himself. He's a fucking. He's like the most asshole kid I've ever seen in the comic book world. I love him. Then fucking hate Damien, but I still like because he's such a dick.
Mhm.
Like I said, the best thing about this book is that they do it into the point to where it's like, you know, Damien and Superman's sons are like the complete polarizing versions of their dads. Like, you know, if Superman's the Boy Scout, Jonathan is like the ultimate, almost stupid Boy Scout. Like, no, we have to follow the rules. Whereas Damien is, you know, the asshole.
My favorite thing with Damien was when he was in the Batmobile with
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. He looks at him. Dick had said something. He just kind of looks at Dick Grayson and he goes, "You know, I could kill you right now." It's like that was the only line.
That's a good one.
I'm starting to fade, guys. I'm gonna head out for the night. Thanks for having me on, Schmegel. This has been pretty cool, guys. I'm le pooped. But,
Yeah, it was good having you, Beauty. Thanks for coming
cheers. I hope
Have
the
fun
rest of it's a good
conquering the
one.
Canadians.
Oh, I will.
on. Yeah, have a good night, man.
Considering our political leaders, it's not hard to conquer us.
Yeah. People kind.
How are you people kind doing in Canada?
Oh yeah, no. Let's make Ren sad. Samaj, type in Dexter Red Lantern Cat.
Oh my god,
That
you
won't
want
make
me to look up
that
Dexter?
That won't make me sad. This is still better than looking at Faith. I will look at animals.
Isn't that
No,
the
trust
Red
me,
Lantern
this
cat?
Yes,
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
cat has a really sad story.
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
but I mean,
It's an angry kitty.
Oh yeah, that breathes that can spit or puke lava.
It looks
Yep.
so cute.
Mm-hmm.
oh man, he's the cutest kitty. I mean, look at him killing up demons. He's just the cutest little cute cat.
Hey, you laughed.
You
My
b-
favorite fluffy thing ever is Rocket Raccoon.
The question is if someone were to toss a yarn ball, would Death Star still be like a regular cat for like the 2 seconds before it melted?
Yes,
Did they make
because
that outfit
Demon
in
Sean.
dog size?
I don't know. I think it looks custom made, so you'd have to
I
custom
may
make
have
it.
to look that up because I could put our dog in that.
It's about
This
the
looks
size of
just
a
like
cat.
my-
You could probably
this look-
put a cat one on.
This looks just like my cat, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I could put my cat in one of those. I'm not gonna, but it's fun to think about.
I've dressed the dog up as Pikachu before. I'll do it.
like I said, pretty much Dexter pretty much just works as like the sentient Bond villain cat. Even if you go up, it's like all the times he's with. He's so cute, and he wants to literally. There's the one point where Atrocitus just goes, "When we kill Guy Gardner, what part of the body do you want?" And the cat just goes, "I want the eyes." Oh, Samaj, where you are to the left. That's the origin story of the cat. Down.
The actual comic panels to the right of that one you were just hovering over.
Yeah. Oh, you mean this one?
Yep.
Yeah. The happy cat whose owner was killed or something. Cat left there. Yeah. It's
the cops throw it away. Two guys tried to throw the cat down the river in a bag. Cat gets angry. The ring finds it. Cat kills both the two guys plus the murderer. And then it's like the comic just ends with the cat in the subway with the skull of the guy that killed the owner, and the cat just going, "I'm a good kitty. I protect my owner."
That is a good kitty.
Mm-hmm.
It avenged her death. Those cats look so happy to be dressed up.
Yeah.
I guess.
That one cat almost looks like help me.
Oh yes! No! Samaj, go back! That was amazing. I remember that was like one of the few good things of the new Authority comic was when Midnighter punches the cat and he's just to the bottom left. Yeah, where it just says, "Stormwatch, this is Midnighter. I just punched the cat."
And anyway, at this point, we're gonna wrap up a little early. My back is fucking killing me for some reason.
Long week.
So tonight we've had the Beardbarian, Darnell Henriquez, and KMACK time. And of course, your usual hosts, Igor, myself, and Samaj, and then Reading Ren from Shitlords Anonymous. All right, so we're fucking done here for tonight, cunts. Tune in tomorrow where we have Theoretical Rhetoric. Our guest should be Bunty King and Jeff Holiday. That'll be fun.
That'll be interesting.
All right, get the fuck out of here, cunts.
Good night, everybody.
You don't gotta go home, but you probably haven't left it in months anyway.
Good night.